Yeah, nah man, you know we gotta do a joint for the ladies, right? So every club worldwide, we gonna move y'all like this, come on. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Big girl, big girl, big girl, big girl, big girl. It's Friday night when the club lines be out the door. Watch the silly.
That time, here we go. Last segment of the day. Gonna take you out with something that makes you remember, something that may take you forward, and something that make you go like, oh damn, oh damn. I decided to do the best black action heroes of all time, and this could be a condition where their lead, support, or character defines them in such a way that you go, wow, this is somebody who's memorable. So, I have to answer the phone. So, what we're going to do here is take you back, for those of you who've been around long enough, and say, do you remember when, and the replay value. So this is not judging whether they're good or bad as much as that, hey, look, you know what, maybe I want to go check that out and see if this was the hero of that time, you know, for example. So, are you ready for this?
I'm ready. All
right, we're going to take you to somebody who just was called the Hammer. Fred Williamson, the Hammer.
Yeah.
Throughout the 70s and 80s, Williamson was the black action hero, particularly in a time when many were not able to achieve his longevity. I came to understand to know this brother by the cigar. As far as I was concerned, you know, because he's ahead of my time. All I knew was this man had a cigar. Would you consider him, because there's a race, well, forget it, I'll ask it later. Would you consider him fully, whether it's blaxploitation, which was his niche, an action hero, Mario?
The former Kansas City Chief, performing in the Super Bowl. Yeah, Hammer was important. He was so important, actually, Vic, that in high school, I took his name as my football play name, and they called me Hammer.
And you had
on
nails.
My football team.
And you had some nails.
And I wore it, and again, like the Hammer, because him, and I wore a special brace, not a brace, but a special cover on my right arm. But the Hammer, yeah, was important to me, Vic, and definitely one of the hottest, maybe the person who started it first.
Yeah, and there's going to be something where I get to it a little bit later, but when you think of it in perspective, you end up going, whoa, and he had longevity that goes with it. Now, while you was doing the Hammer characterization, did you have a cigar?
No.
Okay. Daddy would whip your ass. That's why. Okay. That's right. Let's go on to the next. The next. Yeah, I have to put him up here because he's doing it now, and I'm just not sure what his brand is going to be. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He's done Scorpion King, all the way up to Fast and Furious, Jumanji, Skyscraper, you name it. But does he have a character that makes you go, that's the hero character I remember the most? There's one coming to mind because when I got to The Rock, I said, oh man, you know what? The Scorpion King hit me first. I thought they was going to keep evolving that for a while, and they didn't. You know, they wanted him to do more acting and everything. But where's your line of sight, man, when it comes to hero?
You know, it's funny you said that because the Scorpion King, he certainly is going to have one. You know, right now, I just think he's one of the most multi-talented, impressive of that group.
He is
doing different things. As a former ball player, I've been impressed with his comedic work and his other work. So, no, I'm going to give it up for.
Dwayne. Yeah,
and I just think he does still need to get some characters and some characters to come.
But everybody wants that, and we're going to get to this in a minute. You have that what they call that brand that people go, when you did this. This is what I remember you for. And so, yeah, when he came to Fast and Furious, there was already what they call a brand. And when you have a whole bunch of multi-talented actors and They're all rolled in there. You kind of get lost because everybody's getting their roles and their time served. So, no, I mean, no, I ain't mad. If you can spread yourself like this, cool. You rolled up to the next one. Will Smith. No, Will Smith. Independence Day. Men in Black. Hancock. Will Smith was the highest paid actor on earth with a series of action films. Which films is he best branded as a action hero? This is going to be interesting because if you go to Men in Black, I mean, that series.
I think that's the one.
That's the one that got me more than anything.
I think that's the one where he really. But he's again so lucky to have so many programs, Vic. He's got so many areas. Again, what's different between him and Dwayne?
Right.
He's got a number of more memorable movies.
Yes, he does.
So that's what the big difference is, and some very telling, dramatic movie.
And
Happiness,
6 Degrees of Separation,
all of that,
right?
So Dwayne Johnson still needs to get that kind of thing. But yeah, you're right in posting. Will is hot. Give it up for Will.
The thing that you go like define his action hero. Right now, they try to do they did the Hancock some time ago. I still think the Men in Black is where he had that successful, because I think when you have a series, when you go 1, 2, 3, bump, and they continue a character. Now here's the thing.
There you go. That means the movies. That also means that the movie's successful, Vic.
Right.
That when it's like Indiana Jones.
Right.
So Harrison Ford gets branded for that, maybe even more than Star Wars.
Right.
Because of the number of movies that you do where he's the focus.
And here's the thing. This is why I keep laughing, because as we go through these, you're going to realize something that's obvious. When the character name becomes stronger than the title of the movie, and it hasn't happened with Will Smith, it's hard because Men in Black is such a good title. But it's going to come with others that we cover here. And then you'll see why I said, man, the character was so strong. You remember that. And do you remember the name of the person when they're in their certain role? Wonder if they just have a title in the film that just matches their title and not their, what they call the normalcy of their birth name that's supposed to be depicted in the film.
Right.
We're gonna find out. All right, let's go on to the next. Next, oh man, it's not fair when you have somebody who's got this talent on the stage, but it is. Denzel Washington, The Equalizer, and of course it's going to include the ongoing series. As one of the best actors on stage, Washington's cachet of films including Ricochet, Man on Fire, Training Day are all-time favorites. Will The Equalizer become Denzel's best film series? Watch this. It is so far. Because that's the one he's got.
Well, it's the most popular, even though certainly he has better acting performances and better scripts, better film.
Right.
But, hey, it is what it is. And people know him as it's interesting for him to be known in an action kind of a figure.
Right.
More than in a dramatic way, considering his record. But again, much love to Denzel.
And here's the interesting thing. I'll give you time to think about it because it's not necessarily a query, but the name Equalizer supplants the name of his role in the movie. So you don't really kind of remember it. I know I didn't. I know what it is, but I'm just going to leave it for later. Let people go on the trivia with it because I don't even remember his name. All right, let's go to the next one. The next one, man, they say all you need is one name and it counts. And Wesley Snipes had Blade. Wesley Snipes' Blade series was the most entertaining film series of the 90s post-2000 because it overlapped. Started in 98, I believe, and went into 2004. But he had a character that they really presented in such a way that he had the cool. He had the cool, and he wasn't necessarily the good guy. How successful in your eyes?
Oh, success.
He got you up.
Yeah, and I love the series.
Oh man, it was a.
I loved it, and I had no idea of the comic book. Absolutely nothing.
Yes, they made this one work. It's amazing. That's 20 years ago when it launched off. But yes, do you know what his name was in the movie? I think it was Blade. That was it, right? All right, let's go to the next one. I'm sorry, you guys. I had to do this one because I'm taking you back a little bit, but I can't help it because it sticks in my mind. Samuel L. Jackson is the busiest actor probably in Hollywood history. He's known currently for Avengers. And of course, that iconic film, Pulp Fiction. He commands the screen with more than 180 credits to his cachet. From the iconic Pulp Fiction to the Avengers' Nick Fury, Jackson continues to leave his mark in film history. I'm just going to say this. In Pulp Fiction, he was my own action hero because, I'm sorry, dude, some of the quotes in there that he was being blessed with is timeless. If you guys just want to search, just go search and go Pulp Fiction quotes. And literally, I want to put them all up. But the one I had to do is because he shared it as a cooperative with John Travolta. Don't be looking at me like that, all right? I can feel your look. And that's what he had to do. I'm sorry, Mario. I can watch. I wish they could have done a series with Pulp Fiction.
Well, your own hot chocolate, Nico Williams, is constantly chiming in on Facebook saying that these are action heroes, but not superheroes.
No.
She's correct. You know they are.
Yeah, I know. She's
trying to chime in with her hot chocolateness.
And let me say this.
What about music?
I like what Miko. I like what you're doing. It's amazing that I went to these sources where they combined all this because, action can be somebody holding the gun, the next person could be flying and breaking down walls, and the next person can disappear. So literally, they said action more than anything else. But hey, just want to give props to Sam because if you want to go look at how busy he is. Look at his IMDb and see how much he has projects loaded up upcoming. It is amazing.
He started with Spike Lee before that.
In the 80s, man.
He was coming out of rehab.
Yes.
Give it up for him.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Got it. Much respect. I love that look. All right, let's go to the next one. The next one. You got to leave room in here when somebody's name is Pam Grier. Foxy Brown and Coffee. While the blaxploitation era of the 70s was in full effect, Pam Grier played roles of women pushed too far from Foxy Brown, Coffee, to Jackie Brown. Many of the films we sit up here going to say, all right, it's kind of obvious what they're making her look like. And I'm going, Mario, was she the first African-American action film hero, if you want to call it? Was she our first?
She may not have been our first, but she was one of the earliest. And again, action hero.
I'm just trying.
She looked like she's ready for action there from me. Amongst other things.
Wait a minute. Okay, I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Think of somebody before her.
I can't. Now, what was happening at that time, there were some other things happening on television too, Vic.
Right, I understand.
I forgot her name. Somebody Love.
Get Christy Love.
Christy Love.
She was there, but we're talking about TV now.
No, that was TV. And then remember we had the Bond girl,
right,
who came through. But again, Pam Grier is an icon,
right,
and will always be celebrated.
There you go. Got to give. Hey, look, got a woman in the action, and see that's why I didn't want to make it like animated superheroes, because when you go to superheroes, literally you're just talking about everything that's current. All right, go to the next. This is the one where I say it's gonna be a toss up between these two coming up. Slaughter, Jim Brown, Slaughter. Before Jim Brown's shocking rise to films such as Slaughter, The Dirty Dozen, 100 Rifles, and Three the Hard Way, the shocking news of retirement from the NFL paved the way for his success in blaxploitation films and mainstream films. What probably was more shocking is that he retired. The other part
that can be understated.
Right.
When he left football, he was someone where his football presence and his political presence was so huge that when he stepped into acting, it actually seemed almost like an afterthought.
It was like,
but he was an icon.
It was like what people felt, and times 10 with Barry Sanders.
There you go.
It was, this man is leaving at the height of being the biggest impact. It was like Usain Bolt in track and field. Big. But then, guess where he goes? To the film. Here's my question. Who was more mimicked, characterized, and imitated between Jim Brown and Fred Williamson? This is the one where I said, you think Jim was?
But I think these were the two headlining guys of the time. And after that, you step down a bit. Even when you get to like Jim Kelly and other folks,
Right.
who are doing things, you step down a bit.
Right. See, I think what worked for Jim is he was already known football big time.
He was an icon.
Even though Fred
before all of
played
this.
defensive back or safety, Fred Williamson played NFL football. Makes it hard, but guess who had a smoother cool to them though? I ain't gonna lie to you. Fred.
Well, probably Fred.
Fred had
but
smooth.
you know, Jim Brown was the first one to get an interracial love scene with none other than Raquel Welch.
Right.
And that was in Playboy and one of the most controversial
And go read up on it.
events of the time.
And here's my thing. Go read up on it. It wasn't as easy. Stella Stevens is one of the others that he had that role with as well. So, I wanted to find out, do you remember his character name? Well, Slaughter. Is
Slaughter.
it? Slaughter. See, the name is easy, man.
It's like Shaft.
Right.
Slaughter, Shaft.
Right. Interesting. If you guys are wondering, I'm going to the next. Here goes the next, man. Look, you know, they say sometimes you have to have a period piece where we have a hero. Django Unchained. Jamie Foxx. Can you imagine being a comedian and your career path takes you to successful films like Collateral, Ray, Any Given Sunday, and the Western film Django Unchained as the savior and hero? The Academy Award-winning actor continues to shine. You know, the last time you had heroes in something with a Western environment was Buck and the Preacher, Sidney Poitier, Harry Belafonte, and all them. But there was blaxploitation Westerns. Did this become a game changer for African Americans with Jamie Foxx, Mark?
It was one of a trend.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if it's actually a game changer because he was continuing on some of the things, but hey,
Right.
modern day, continuing in a heritage.
Right.
Let's say that.
Right.
Definitely continuing to explore that heritage.
Got you. Okay, good. Yeah, you want to give props to him because this man's history is unbelievable. To go from a comedian to now all of a sudden being this well-received actor, multi-talented. He is what I would call akin to the Sammy Davis Jr. of our time. If you want to go look at Sammy Davis history, go back, you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, about to take you over and say, do you remember? Hey, let me ask you this, Mark. You remember the character name Django Unchained? If you don't, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. See, my whole point is the title and his role supplant the name that he played in underneath. So if you don't, and if it's the same, it's no big deal. See, that's the part that I was getting. I was going, oh man.
Well, some people, the name of the character does take a bigger place.
Yes, it does.
And you remember that character more than the name of the actor.
And that leads us into who I think is probably, in my vote, the number one character that I remember more so. I say his name before I say the film. Lawrence Fishburne, the Matrix series, Morpheus. Despite a career that spans over 3 decades, really should say 4, with such films as Deep Cover, Apocalypse Now, Boys in the Hood, and many more, Fishburne will always be remembered, moreover, by the character of the series The Matrix, Morpheus. I say Morpheus. I say it over and over again and related to The Matrix, although The Matrix brand is really strong, but his character stands out. So as soon as you say, well, name Keanu Reeves' character, and he's the lead actor, do you remember? See, this is the part where I'm going, do you remember Keanu?
Nemo's and Nemo.
You remember
Morpheus.
You remember
You're
Morpheus.
so right.
That's why I said this is the part where I'm going, his brand was so strong on this, man. He had the cool, they had the look. Whoever did the fashion hookup design, oh, y'all hooked him. You hooked him good. All right, let's go to the next. Let's go to the next, man. You know, they always say, there's someone cometh, and I'm not sure if he's over yet. Black Panther, T'Challa. And the reason why I say that is because I just don't think everybody's going to remember who's not in the film itself around. Do you remember the character's name? Because Black Panther is so branded. Black Panther film set new standards for African American film success, primarily breaking down barriers for superhero action films, financial investments with a touch of urban African cliche. Chad Boseman is a game changer, and we remember his character name, T'Challa, as a possible superhero spinoff. Mario, think his name is worthy of a spinoff?
Oh, yeah. Well, definitely Black Panther is going to have so many. It was one of the highest grossing, I think if not the highest grossing, until recently.
Right.
I think that's why I got to double check. But no, looking forward to this one, Vic.
Yes.
Looking forward.
Yes. Hey, you guys, believe it or not, that is a part 1. I'm not going to take you all through this because you guys have already made your decisions. There's no win or lose. I guarantee you one of you guys are going to go back and do a replay. And the replay is going to be, I'm going to watch this. What's your number 1 replay that you're going out to watch now, Mar? You going to play
Black Panther.
Done. I'm out.
HOtt PiXX.
HOtt PiXX.
Yeah. Nah, man. You know we gotta do a joint for the ladies, right? So every club worldwide, we gonna move y'all like this. Come on. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Big girl. Big girl. Big girl. Big girl. Big girl. It's Friday night when the club lines be out the door. Watch the